Hello and welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. My name is Brianne, also known as Being Brianne, and once again, it's just me this week since Mom is in Colorado. She's having a fabulous time with Peggy of the 100th Jeep and getting updates here and there, and she's just in her glory right there. It's neat to hear the fun things that they're doing as they're getting ready for I think it's Fiberfest that's going on, coming up pretty soon. Lots of snow. We are having pretty good weather here. We're expecting some thunder showers and, some elevated risk for things like tornadoes, and they're handling snow. So there you go. It's one or the other. You can't escape weather, can you? So let's get on with things. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, so I don't know, this might be a shorter episode. I say that and then watch, it'll be like an hour and a half, so, just bear with me. So to what I'm wearing today, I am wearing a sockhead hat. This is the first sockhead hat that I made it for myself out of Malabrigo sock yarn, and I love it. I do. Hold on. I want to do that later. I don't want to do updates while I'm recording. Silly computer. So here I am in my sockhead hat, which I love. It's just a beautiful blue color with some brown in it. And, Malabrigo just does an amazing job of dyeing yarn. You just can't deny that. They have beautiful colorways. So there you go. What am I working on? Well, let's see. I have not been working on a whole lot this week. It's been rather crazy, which I'll talk about later. But I did put a little bit of work into my daffodil socks. So here is the first sock. And I put, I don't know, like 4 rows on that. But it counts, right? I picked it up and I worked on it. I have stitches that were not there last week that are now on there. So that's the first one. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see the cables and some of the eyelet details. And this is made out of Lorna's Lace's Shepherd's Sock in the Daffodil colorway. And this is the Ms. Wick pattern by Liz Abinante. And I have knit this pattern before. This is the second sock before. I had just finished doing the toe increases, and now I have 2 repeats of the cable on there. I have knit this pattern before, and I've really enjoyed it. It turns out to be a great sock, and nice and stretchy, and kind of conforms to your foot really well because of the purl stitches in between the ribs and the eyelets that help to kind of gather in that fabric. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This I take along with me to my grandma's on Thursdays because she has a standing appointment at the hair salon to get her hair done. And last week she had her hair colored and she got a pedicure, and this week tomorrow it'll be she's getting her hair styled and her nails done. So we are usually there for at least an hour, sometimes 2. Last week it was 3. And so I have time to work on these, but that's kind of what I tend to bring is, projects that are a little bit bigger, require a little bit more headspace, since I don't really get bothered a whole lot at the salon. Like, nobody really wants to talk to me. I'm okay with that. Just let me knit. I'm happy. The other thing that I started is I started a pair of socks out of the Regia Arnie and Carlos design line. Is that what it's called? Yes. How awesome am I remembered. This is the Summer Nights colorway, which is color 3657. And it is looking like this. I started these a couple days ago. Yesterday, Ailish had a concert at school, and I brought that out as I was waiting for the concert to start and got some work done on that. I had a phone meeting this morning, and I, knitted on that during the phone meeting, and as I was waiting for the phone call to begin, and so, yeah, I'm, just haven't got much done on these, but I just started them a couple days ago, so I'm not too worried. It's, I love knitting with Regia. It's a really great yarn for socks that are going to last you for quite a while. And I think that just makes knitting those socks so enjoyable because, I could have these for a good long time. Yay! Nothing like knitting with socks, with a sock yarn, and you haven't knit with it before, or, you aren't sure if they're going to last you, and you're like, how long will these socks last? Because I have had socks that I knit. I do remember which sock yarn it was, but I will not name names because that's not very nice. And I think I got 3 or 4, maybe 4 wears out of them before they just totally had holes all over, and that was really disappointing. So I do not knit out of that sock yarn anymore. But yeah, so there we go. I love the patterning on these. They make me very happy, especially this little orange spotted area here and the little flecks up here, right there and right there. Those make me happy. Not just the fact that it's, striping, but just the things that happen along inside the stripes are just, every time I pull out a new section, I'm like, oh, it's doing something new. I'm such a kid that way. Oh gosh. Let's see what I finished. I finished my Vanilla is the New Black socks. Ta-da! Look at those. Aren't they pretty? I'm going to do a close-up of the heel so you can see what it looks like. There you go. Do you hear the bird outside? Makes me happy too. It's spring, y'all. It's coming. Our flowers are blooming and trees are in bloom and allergies are running rampant and it's spring. And the birds are chirping and it makes me happy. So here is the Vanilla is a New Black socks that I finished. You can really see now that I have them on sock blockers, hello, what this ribbing pattern looks like here. And then here is where you do the decreases to get you back to your normal stitch count for the foot. So I have 1, 2 socks because I have 1, 2 feet. And I knit this out of Pagewood Farm hand-dyed sock yarn, Yukon, in the Forest Camo colorway. This yarn is a merino bamboo nylon blend, 20% bamboo, which I knit Mom a pair of those gray socks out of the bamboo yarn, which it was wool and bamboo. I don't know that it had any nylon content, but man, I did not like knitting those socks. The yarn was all splitty and it was just really not fun. I had to make myself knit on them. And this yarn really was a different experience. So maybe I need to rethink my thoughts towards bamboo. Maybe I need to do it on a per yarn basis. I don't know. But I really did enjoy knitting these socks. They turned out beautifully. I love the colors. These would have made great socks for my husband, but no, these are for me. And let's see, what else was I going to say about them? I think that's it. That's really it about that. Man, we're moving along. It's going to be a quick podcast, people. So, a pattern highlight that I wanted to show you guys was something I found this morning, which is brand new, And I like finding brand new patterns. Things that haven't been knit 100 million times is always fun. This is called The Haystack by Melanie Rice. It was just published this month. And this reminds me of the 3-color cashmere cowl. But this is more color blocked. Oh, there you go. You can see it's really just, you know, the 3-color cashmere cowl, it has a lot of stripes and a lot going on. This is more color blocked, but with textures. Every color has a different texture. And let me pull up another picture here so you can see. Here we go. Those are the different textures that they have going on. So you got some lace, you have some textured ribbing, looks like cables, some eyelets. So there's just a lot of things going on. You know, maybe if you're a newer knitter, this would be something that would be really interesting to work on, because you can get a little experience with doing different types of stitches and different types of techniques. I also think that it would be really pretty in just a solid color, but then you have the different textures going on. You know, maybe do it in a beautiful cream color, or you know, something like that. I don't think a variegated yarn would show it off very well. I think that all the different textures would get kind of lost. I think that, you know, doing a solid or a semi-solid yarn, like a tonal kind of yarn, would probably work best. This was knit in Knit Picks Palette, which is a solid colored yarn. And so yeah, it's a fingering weight yarn that's required. So any fingering weight yarn that you think would work out well needs about 775 to 830 yards. So quite a bit. If you're looking to do like a stash down, or, you know, not get rid of, but use up some yarn that you have in your stash, I think this would be a great way of doing that. So yeah, there you go. What else do I have? Oh my goodness, it's going to be like the 15-minute podcast. Oh my word. Oh, okay, so I wanted to talk about some for It's a Good Thing, some things that have happened this week. We signed up for soccer. Ailish and Evan did, and it is so cute to watch them play. And so we had soccer practice, and then this last Saturday we had the first soccer games. And interesting to see how the kids did as far as, like, you know, how they are in practice and how they are when they're actually playing. Now, in practice, Ailish is, you know, she's active and she's doing things and she's following directions, and they're running drills and doing, you know, little scrimmages and things like that as they're trying to improve their skills. And, you know, she's doing those things and, you know, following along with everybody else. In the game, though, Ailish is very calculating as far as what it is that she's doing and how she interacts with the team as a whole. You know, she doesn't just run wherever the ball is and try and get at it. You know, she's kind of watching and seeing what everybody else is doing, and then as the ball gets closer, then, you know, she, you know, will engage the ball and, you know, try and get it in, or, you know, she'll interact with her teammates and, you know, try and get the ball past to her and things like that. But and Evan, who is Ailish's 8, she'll be 9 in May, and Evan is 5, he'll be 6 in April. And Evan is kind of a little bit more laid back in practice. He is, you know, he's doing what everybody else is doing, but, you know, not really doing anything to stand out. You know, he likes to run everywhere. That's pretty normal for him. But, he really, I didn't know how he would do in a game. And so Saturday was the first game, and he got to play first. His game was before Ailish's. This boy is so funny. He gets out there and he is like, running into whatever is going on and stealing the ball away from the other team. If there's a few of the other team that are, have the ball and are guarding it, he just like runs in and swipes the ball away from them and, will go and score a goal. Or, go pass it to a teammate, or, run it across the field, or, get it away from their goal or from their own goal and, put it towards the other team's goal. And he's like, watching him, I was like, who is this kid? He's amazing. He's doing so good. So that was a nice surprise. He's of my 3 kids, he is the most coordinated. As far as, he will do gymnastics. He taught himself how to do cartwheels, and, he'll just, run and, do flips and stuff. And the whole time I'm like, be careful. Ah! So, it was awesome to see them doing their thing on the soccer field. And we have more practices coming up. And we have, I think, 5 more games to go and 5 more weeks of practices. Ailish's coach is wanting to do 2 practices a week. And I don't know how I feel about that. My kids have never been really involved in sports before. And so I want them so badly to be involved in sports, because I know it is awesome for building character and, as far as, the health benefits of being involved in athletics and, learning how to be a part of a team and, all of those things that the kids get from being a part of athletics. I want those things for them. And my husband is a firm believer in, getting your kids involved in sports, because he played baseball from the time that he was, in, Little League, 5 years old until through high school and almost into college. He got a partial baseball scholarship and ended up doing something else, which I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, why didn't you do that? On the other hand, I was like, well, if you had done it, I probably wouldn't have met you. So, baseball, Brianne. I think he got the good one. So, in any case, so that was that. And I wanted to show you pictures of, let me clear off my phone. The kids have been playing with it, so it's got fingerprints all over it. I wanted to show you pictures of the kids at the soccer games, because it was so cute. They were adorable, of course. Okay. So here's Ailish, Team Revolution, and she's looking fierce. And then showing you that personality, here is Evan. There you go. He is ready to go, let me tell you. Things are awesome in his world. So that's part of my It's a Good Thing. The other thing is, well, first of all, the next thing is, I was not prepared for being out in the sun for 2.5 hours. So I don't know if you can see, I got a nice sunburn. I was wearing the cutest shirt, so I should not have gotten burned, because the cuteness factor right there should have been like, the sun should have been like, oh no, we can't burn Brianne because she looks way too fabulous today. But I got burned anyways, and that's just mean. So I was wearing this really cute shirt that went just a little bit low in the back, kind of had a little bit of a scoop, and then it had like a teardrop cut out. And so I now am like peeling like crazy on the upper part of my back where it was exposed. And also the little teardrop thing, Brian's like having such a hard time not touching it. He's like, beep, beep. Oh, well. Also in It's a Good Thing was, this just happened yesterday, but I have a very special ring that I wear on my right hand, right there. And I don't know if you can see, it says on the top it says pray, and on the bottom it says hope. And I got this very shortly after Owen was diagnosed with cancer in 2012, and it just helps me to, it's a tangible reminder of what it is that I need to do in all circumstances. No matter what's going on, the first thing I need to do is I need to pray. And the second thing is I need to continue to hope and be positive and, not in a Pollyanna kind of way, not being Pollyanna all the time, but just not to give up hope ever, because no matter what the circumstances, there is hope. And that was, so the ring is very special to me. It's, it was like a $13 ring on Etsy. It's made from aluminum, so it bends, and I don't know if you can see, it's like the shape of it is all wonky from, 4 years of being worn and mangled and everything. But yesterday I was at my grandma's house taking care of her, and I was taking out her trash right as I was getting ready to leave, and I had the trash bag, the little drawstring things wrapped around my wrist, and I had my bags in my other hand and my keys in my pocket, and I'm like, I can't throw my keys in the dumpster because that's not good. I'll never get them out. And I lifted up the lid on the dumpster, threw the bag in, and it snagged on my ring and yanked it off, and my ring just flew into the dumpster. And I was mortified. I was heartbroken because this ring is so special to me. It has so much meaning for me, and my plan is that October is, I believe, Owen's final checkup with his oncology team, and that's a big milestone, and we wanted to, I wanted to retire it. It's been in business. It's been working hard. But I wanted to retire it at that point and get a new ring, and with something else on it to help me, kind of as we start this new point in our lives where we're not having to think about cancer all the time. We'll just think about it part of the time. But no, I'm just kidding. But I texted Brian, and I texted my mom, and I texted my sister, and I was just in tears over this ring. I mean, just so upset about losing it, because even though I wasn't planning on wearing the ring anymore after October, I still wanted the ring because it had been with us through this whole journey. With me through this whole journey. It's very sentimental to me. And so Ailish had a concert last night at school, and Brian, after we get home, he goes and changes, and I'm getting dinner ready, and he goes, okay, I'm going. And I'm like, where are you going? He goes, I am going to go get your ring back. And that man went dumpster diving and found my ring. Luckily, the Lord was looking out for us, and the timing of it was really good because the dumpster had just been emptied first thing yesterday morning, and there were only like 2 or 3 bags of trash in there. So he saw the ring right away, and he texted me. He's like, I found it, I have it. And so it was wonderful getting it back, and he washed it really well after. after he got it back. And so I'm so happy to have my ring back, and I feel, I feel good about it. So all of my Instagram friends were, giving me ideas of new things I could put on a new ring, which I love. And so if you have ideas of what I should put on my ring that I'm going to get in October, then I would love to hear, because I'm open to subjections. I'm open to suggestions. I would love to hear what you think I should put on my new ring. And so one idea was doing blessed and thankful. And I think those are great things, since I have my gratitude journal and I write my list of things that I'm thankful for every day. I don't always, have amazing, insightful things to write in my journal every day, but I do have things. I write at least 3 things that I'm grateful for every day. So there you go. That was one idea that I just love. So keep giving me ideas. I want to hear them. One more thing is, this is my beautiful bag that our Kathy gave me, and she sent it to me. It's that she handmade. In fact, she handmade it with love, as you can see there. And I decided to, rather than bringing along all of my pens in my purse, because, you have to have more than one pen in your purse, especially if you have a really fun, amazing planner that you want to use. You need more than one pen. So this is perfect for the pens that I want to keep in my purse. So I have all of these pens. And this is my favorite one that I've been using lately. It's by Pilot. It's called Coleto, Coleto, and I'll link to it in the show notes. But it's a multi-color pen. But the cool thing is, you can get different color refills for it. So like I have this is where you store your refills, and all you do is you open the top, and then you can take out the color that you don't want to use anymore. So say I don't want to use this light blue anymore. I'm done with light blue. I want to use the orange. So then you just pretend I'm still using light blue. Shh, don't tell anyone. So you just put it in, and then you close the top, and then you have, ta-da, a brand new color. So I need to get some more refills, because I need more colors, obviously. It's very important that I have a lot of selection for all of my writing needs of colors. So there's that. But thank you, our Kathy, for that. It fits so nicely in my purse. And I thought I'd go ahead and show you my planner layout for the week. I have some more stickers coming. Shh. No judging. But here's what my week looks like. I have appointments in there. I have all kinds of things going on. You can see lots of 3 soccer balls. And here's where I do my tracking of my water intake, and my menu planning is down here. And so yeah. And that's what's going on in my week, in my beautiful Erin Condren Life Planner, which I love. All right, so that's enough of that. Enough, we've done lots of It's a Good Thing. So let's move on to Project Craft. So, dun, 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 my Project Craft journal. So I last week pulled out challenge number 60. And the prompt for that is, what is your favorite way to stay connected to the crafting community? So I wrote, I've been a part of the crafting community for, I started knitting 11 years ago. I started knitting in 2005. So yeah, it's been 11 years now. And at that point I had a blog called A Journey Beyond Boredom, because at that point I only had one kid and I thought I was going to be bored when I stopped working. What was I thinking? So foolish. So foolish. But 2011 me, or 2005 me, thought that I was going to be bored after I stopped working and stayed at home with my one kid. And, little did I know how much my life was going to change. I'd move across the country and have more kids and learn how to craft. And, plus there's taking care of a home. So I don't know. Anyways, silly name for a blog, but there you go. That was me, my younger self. Now I know there's never a moment of boredom, especially when you craft. Hello. Okay, so here is what my page looks like. I did just a little doodle there, as you can see, with my gel pens. The first way I connected with the crafting community was through blogs and blogging. I found friends through the blogosphere, and I'm still friends with some of them today. Then along came Ravelry, and my world shifted. Rather than updating a blog and my Rav project page, I slowly left my blog and became sucked into Ravelry. Now I find that my time is split between Ravelry and Instagram. I love that I can see knitting, family, and everyday moments from my Instagram friends. And I like that I get to see that not just from my knitting friends, but from my, real life friends and internet friends and family. And, it's nice to see even, my mom, who lives 2 floors below me, will post something on Instagram and I'll be like, oh, you're doing that. That's so cute. So, it's just fun to see what people are doing and just their everyday moments of their lives, not necessarily things that are, really, staged and, but just their kids running and playing and, or, that beautiful meal that you prepared and you worked really hard on and, just things like that. I don't care what it is. I want to see it. So there you go. That is how I connect to the crafting community. And I went ahead and did drawings already just because it's not really fun looking at me as I'm trying to handle random number generator and finding things on the internet. So there you go. So I picked random number generator picked number 23 for me, which is post a pic of you knitting in public, which I'm going to have a fun one because I have an event that I'm going to on Friday, and I plan on doing some knitting there. So hopefully my friend Sarah will take a picture of me as I'm knitting in public. And so there you go. Now, how can you be a part of Project Craft if you are not already involved? So what we're doing is we are finding a way to document our crafting lives, which is, part of the journals and the prompts that we're doing. And, if you want to follow along and do the same prompts that I'm doing, feel free. If you want to choose your own, feel free. If you want random number generator to choose yours for you, like we're doing, go for it. But I really would like to encourage you to join along. We're doing prizes. How can you win a prize? Go over onto our Ravelry group, which is Knitworthy Podcast, and just join in on the conversation. We have a whole thread that's devoted to Project Craft, and I'd like for you to post pictures of things that you're doing if you'd like. Just comment on somebody else's post or on their pictures or on their projects and, give them a cheer and, let them know that they have inspired you in some way. If we pick your post by random number generator, then you have something that's like documenting with a picture, a project, or something that you're working on, then you get a $25 gift card to someplace. It's a surprise to where it is, but probably it's going to be Etsy because that's really easy, and you can buy art on Etsy or anything. There's so many things on Etsy. Or if you're just commenting on somebody else's picture or entry, then you get a $5 pattern on Ravelry, $5 or less. Any pattern that you like. If you want, a pattern for a chapstick holder, I will give that to you. No judging here. Whatever you want. Danger Mouse from last week, she wanted the Trillion pattern, the one that I finished for Mom. And so that's what she got because it was less than $5. So there you go. So the winner of this week's Project Craft giveaway is I had between 234 and 251, and random number generator picked number 238, which is Crazy Crafter 87. Yay! Let me pull you up. We'll see what you said. All right. Here we go. Okay, Crazy Crafter 87, who is Crazy Crafter 87. You don't have a name on here, so I don't know your name. Sorry. But there you go. She said, thanks, they are great. I got 3 of them. I think she's talking about notebooks from the other posts around her, because that's all they had. I took some stamps I had and stamped in the corner of the page. I'll probably start on them tonight. I'm rethinking my yearly crafty goals, trying to simplify. I totally get that. Yes, I too am rethinking my crafting goals. I'm thinking I might have been a little bit lofty in my planning of what I wanted to do this year. In fact, let me see. In trying to simplify, let me look at my goals. Because now we're coming into April. So, let me grab a pencil here. I have knit 4 socks for myself. I wanted to knit 12 pairs of socks this year using only stash yarn. Do not purchase any more sock yarn this year. Obviously, I have failed at not purchasing sock yarn because I have purchased some. But they have been either for gifts or they were souvenir yarn, which it was determined it totally doesn't count. Souvenir yarn doesn't count, especially souvenir sock yarn. So thank you for supporting me in that. I appreciate that. I also wanted to knit a sweater for myself. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I really do want to knit a sweater for myself. But I am in the process of living a healthier lifestyle, and I have lost 16 pounds so far this year, and I would like to continue doing that. And I don't want to knit something that fits current me if it's not going to fit me later on in the year. Like, knit a beautiful cabled sweater and then not be able to, it's, way too big on me by the time winter comes around. That'd be really sad. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that. We shall see. Maybe I'll wait a little bit longer. Number 3, cross stitch 1 Christmas gift. Well, that's kind of doable. I do have an idea of one that I want to do, and it's not that big and it's not that difficult, so I could probably still do that. Use up the 8 oldest skeins of yarn in my stash. They leave the stash this year one way or another. I have actually done really good on that. I have, of the 8 oldest skeins, which I wrote down in my book there, that's this list right here, I have finished 4 projects with 8 of those skeins of yarn. Hold on, that's not right. I have used 4 skeins of yarn out of the 8 for 4 different projects. So I used the Cascade 220 to make a hat. I used the Page Wood Farm Yukon to make my Vanilla is a New Black socks. I used a Malabrigo sock in an unmoon color to make a sock head hat. And then the Alpaca with a Twist Fino, I started a project and ended up gifting that to Mom for her to use in her spinning or in crafting in some way, because I do not care for lace weight yarn. Revelation of myself. So there you go. And like I said, they leave the stash this year one way or another. I don't necessarily have to, I can gift it. I don't have to knit with it. So that's, one way that I got rid of that yarn. So learn how to do color work so I can knit the gorgeous Norwegian mittens. Those are the winter rose mittens. These right here, which I still want to do. I have the yarn all wound up. I have needles in there. I have my Cascade 220 yarn that I still need to wind up and get started hopefully soon on learning how to do color work in a hat. Just because I think doing fingering weight mittens when really in-depth color work like this would be kind of difficult. So I'm going to try something on a bigger scale with bigger yarn to help me learn how to do it and start to get comfortable before I start such an in-depth project. And that's the plan. So I don't know. The only thing that I can really see myself maybe altering is the 12 pairs of socks. I've already knit 4, so maybe that's maybe that's not too bad. I'm on track at least. But definitely knitting a sweater for myself is one that I'm going to have to reevaluate and see what I want to do. So yeah, I think that's it for today. 41 minutes, that's not bad. That's better than 15 minutes. I was afraid it was going to be like a 15-minute podcast. That's hardly even worth it. All right. Well, I'm so glad that you joined me today. Thank you for coming, even though Mama Linda isn't here, and I appreciate you guys interacting with me and being a part of Project Craft. We really love that you guys are on board with us with that contest and with that project and that decision to leave a legacy of crafting for your family. And I'll be back probably next week, I think. We'll see. It depends on what life is like next week. I'm evaluating things 1 week at a time. What can I say? But until then, I want you to remember that you are knitworthy. Bye.